Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cosmic Circus Review. My name is Vin. With me is Cam.
Hi.
And today, we're talking about the first two episodes of Alien Earth. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow, support us on Patreon. A few dollars a month supports the channel, supports our work, exclusive access to our Discord server, mailbag access to ask questions, early access to super cool content. Whoa! All right, Cam. So we're here for Alien Earth 2025. I think this is the first Alien TV show ever, right?
Yes. Yes,
Cool.
ever, ever, ever. Yes.
I mean, even Ghostbusters got a cartoon. Where's the
Yeah.
Alien cartoon? I would watch that. Written, directed, showrun by Noah Hawley from Legion. Did you watch Legion?
No,
Okay,
missed out on that one.
I watched a little bit, but everyone says it's great, so
Yeah,
I have to
I've
come back.
seen like some clips and stuff, and it does seem like really crazy. So
Yeah. This show is starring Sydney Chandler as Wendy, Alex Lawther as Wendy's brother Joe, and Timothy Olyphant as Kirsch, the chief scientist, and also 20 billion other people.
yeah, we were
We'll
just
get there.
like before the recording, we were like, we'll just do the main three, otherwise we'll be here all
There,
week. So
there are so many characters in this, and not to jump the shark too much, but I was like, okay, so you gave us 20 characters. I can't wait to see them all die.
yeah, I was gonna say, how many will there be by the end? You know,
And I'm
probably not.
still waiting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah.
All right. So first, Cam, let's get into what is your history with the Alien franchise?
Obviously, big Alien fan, like watched the first one probably way too young, probably like
Mhm.
12, 13
Oh,
kind of
wow.
thing, because
Awesome.
it's
Awesome.
one of those that you sort of get told to watch and then you end
Mhm.
up watching and it's like, oh, sleep with the lights on for the next few nights. But and then I think I've watched Aliens the same time, but then I didn't touch the rest of the franchise for a while. And
Mhm.
then with
Mhm.
Romulus last year, I
Exactly.
sort of went
Yeah.
back to it and re-watched three and four,
Okay.
and then obviously watch Romulus as well.
Mhm.
And then I've played a little bit of Alien Isolation as well.
Okay. And what about Prometheus, Covenant?
Oh, yeah, I've got
Okay.
about those. Yeah, I
Okay.
watched that. I've watched Covenant in the cinema, I do
Oh,
believe. Yeah.
nice.
So
Nice.
Covenant and Romulus. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you like Prometheus? That's like really
Yes,
divisive.
I'm one of
You
those
do?
people
Okay.
that enjoys the origin
Yeah.
stories. So,
I,
one
I,
of
I
those that
like
wishes for that third
yeah, I
Ridley
like
Scott.
I like a lot about them. I don't think I love them as much as like the real fans of
Yeah.
them do. But I'm one of the strange people that likes the director's cut of Alien 3,
I
which is
haven't seen it yet, but I
yeah,
need to, because
because
I just
because
watched
I
the original
mhm,
and I was like, I like this more than I thought, and then I realized there was like an extended version, like a different cut,
mhm,
and I was like, need to give that a go.
yeah. I was like you, so well, a little bit. I got to Alien when I was like 18, so I was already like an adult. I got to Alien. I fell in love. My God, I love that movie. It's still one of my all-time favorites. I remember I went to summer camp, and I was and this summer camp like we all grew up with. We all know each other. I'm like, guys, I got a movie for you. We watched it. It was amazing. Then I watched Aliens around the same time. I skipped the rest because everyone said they were bad. Romulus comes out. Then I'm like, all right, let's buckle down. And then
Yeah,
I watched everything. I really like the ideas in Prometheus. I just think it there's just a little sloppiness. Like it doesn't execute exactly what I wish it did, but I really appreciate the ideas and what they're trying to do. I
yeah,
even like
yeah,
parts of Covenant a lot too,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the origin of the alien stuff like that. So I'm a huge Alien fan. Even like Resurrection, there's stuff in it that I actually like. Just like when it embraces the camp and the
yeah,
goofiness a little
yeah,
bit, like even Godzilla. I love serious Godzilla. I love silly Godzilla. And Alien, the longer a franchise goes on, the sillier it gets.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I was really excited about Alien Earth. Cam, can you tell us like what is the general idea of this show?
So it is set 2 years before the first Alien film. The starts sort of a bit like the opposite of Alien, like we see this ship, everyone's
Mhm,
waking up somewhere. So it starts similar to Alien, I mean, not opposite. So everyone wakes up on this ship. We find out it's a research vessel. They've got,
mhm,
we just get straight into it. Like we know they've got, the alien head face huggers and egg sacs on board. So
yeah,
it's all going to go downhill. It does. We don't know why or how it goes downhill, because it like jump cuts to like when it
mhm,
ends up crashing, which I thought was fine, because it's like we get the aliens on Earth. That's the premise of the show, not another sort of alien ripoff.
right,
So it does crash land on Earth. And then, 2 episodes in, it's basically just been people exploring this. And then on the flip side, which is the show's main premise, is that on Earth, which we never really see in the Alien films
Mhm.
outside of little bits, it's sort of a battle for dominance in the world of artificial intelligence. So we have cyborgs, we have the Weyland-Yutani synthetics, and then we have the new company, which is Prodigy,
Mhm.
who are making, what's the name that they call them?
Hybrids? Is that
Hybrids,
yeah.
that's it, something like that. Where it's basically they put the human brain of a child,
Mhm.
like a dying child,
Mhm.
into an adult
Mhm.
robot body, basically. And that's the start premise of the show, is this little girl that's dying. She ends up in this new body and calls herself Wendy because, sort of after Peter Pan and all of that
All
kind
about
of
Peter
thing.
Pan.
Yeah,
All about
yeah.
Peter Pan.
And then she's basically on this like island retreat called Neverland, which is a bit like dubious with some of the other connotations for
Oh my god.
Neverland and
Oh
islands.
my god. That's from
But
Peter
yeah, it's
Pan. That's
yeah.
Peter Pan.
But it's basically the sort of research place for this really rich, really
Uh-huh.
young trillionaire who's
Yeah.
like, sort of all of the, normal like billionaire people, but,
Yeah.
sort of like the asshat type as you're going to get. So, and then, 2 episodes in, it's sort of, we find out that this Wendy has a brother who works in the city where this spaceship crashes.
Mhm.
She's been like keeping an eye on him. We find out she can like do stuff with cameras. She can like take over robots in the
Mhm.
other city. She can
Mhm.
do all this other stuff. So she's been keeping an eye on her brother, and then she finds out that he's gone to help find search and rescue in this crashed spaceship. So that basically ends up with her wanting to go and find him. So they manage to do that, and then they send her out. And there's other kids as well that have been put into bodies. So it's basically a group of about 5 or 6 like adult body hybrid bodies with kids' minds. So I really like that they all still act like kids. And then they go into this spaceship to sort of investigate it, and then end up finding the creatures. And of course, there's already a fully grown alien aboard, so you get to see it cause havoc like inside the spaceship and also in this massive apartment building, which I found really interesting and cool because it sort of gives you this new dynamic for the alien. Like, it's not just on some old rickety spaceship, it's in a big stone concrete building, like it's pretending to be statues, it's hiding in the ceiling, it's like
There's a
crawling along the
party in
walls.
one of the rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes in, massacres everyone in the party. And then the end of the episode is the end of episode 2 is the alien sort of jumping, he's basically been after Wendy's brother Joe this
Mhm.
whole time. Like, there's been like 3 incidents where he's come really close to getting it. So the alien pounces on him, takes him over the edge further into the building, and then she goes after him. And then meanwhile, like, the sort of prodigy people are trying to secure the aliens, and all these other weird species that they got. There's like an eye creature with like tentacles that ended up inside a cat. There's massive leeches.
Amazing. And that was really cool.
Yeah, so I hope there's more of that as well as the alien. So basically, they're trying to get all the subjects before Weyland-Yutani come back. So it's like a power of dominance with billionaires,
Exactly.
and then you've got an alien causing havoc as well.
Yeah, that was a brilliant summary because there's a lot happening.
There is.
There's a lot
These
happening.
episodes are like 2 hours, like,
Yeah.
both of them together. So there's a lot to pay attention to.
Very dense. So many characters, so much going on. And it's like it's not just linear, that it's also jumping around in
Yeah.
time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just trying to figure out who is who. And now
Yeah.
you have all these different times, and okay, but then she's watching through this camera, and then this is happening, and then God, it's a lot going on. Overall, are you positive or negative?
Very positive. I
Very
think
positive.
the only thing negative wise is the weird editing. There's a lot of fade to blacks, like an incredible
Yeah.
amount of fade to blacks.
I think it's because of commercial breaks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, even obscene amount. And then also there's like weird, like, I mean, I know it happens in like Alien where they like have the half faded faces and then it cuts to the, but it gets it's a bit much in like a TV show, I think. But otherwise, I'm really enjoying, like, I'm yet to see where they want to go with it. Like, I imagine they're going to bring all the subjects back to the island, and it's going to end up like Jurassic Park, where they just sort of cause havoc, like in a contained space. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see where it goes and whether or not like Timothy Olyphant, because he's playing an android. We know how obsessed androids get about,
Mhm.
aliens and all of that. Like, is he going to end up being evil? Is he going to like, take the alien off somewhere? That kind of thing.
During your recap, I was even thinking that this sounds almost more like a Blade Runner prequel.
Yeah,
Like how interested it is about humans, robots, the line between humans and robots,
yeah,
very Blade Runner,
yeah.
and or I don't want to say Terminator, but it's all kind of the same
Yeah, like
DNA.
all the
Yeah,
AI like is very futuristic with like
yeah.
where humanity's going.
And
Like that.
there's even some shots in episode 2 when they're like showing the city, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this is not the Blade Runner universe, right? This is not
yeah,
Blade Runner, but it
yeah,
looks like
yeah,
Blade Runner.
yeah.
Did you like those parallels?
Yeah, I sort
Okay.
of I enjoy that like retro futuristic style
Yeah.
they go for. Like, kind of I think with Alien, it's because it's all set in space. You kind of a bit like when it comes to Earth, you can be a bit like, whoa, hang on, what are we doing here? I think they've managed to blend it well enough that it's like they've not gone with like, oh, Earth's dying off. Like, the only hope is because they just throw around that they've got like hospitals on Mars, like universities on Mars, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just basically a battle on Earth for dominance between these four sort of three or four huge companies that want everything basically. Because
And
it's not like they don't really say there's countries. It's like what company owns. Because it's like,
yeah,
is it
that's true.
Wayland Yutani owns North and South America? So that's why Prodigy's set in like Siam and all of that kind of thing.
And, it's real interesting that we've never heard of Prodigy from the other movies, which makes you wonder what happens to it in this TV
Yeah,
show. I thought that boy was really interesting. His name is Boy Cavalier or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
They call him the Boy Genius, and
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he's a really interesting character in this. I don't know what they're planning to do, where he's going to go, but he's one of those like such a genius, but he's also kind of a reckless idiot.
Yeah, like
We're
he's messing
familiar. Yeah.
around with like mind. He's basically doing all of this, putting minds in robot bodies just so he can have an intelligent conversation. Like messing around with like the ethics of humanity, as it were, just to sort of please himself, just because he's rich. So, it's like I feel like they're obviously setting him up to be like the big asshole of the show. And then they can kill him off spectacularly when the alien gets to the island or whatever, which I'll be thrilled to see
I
happen.
hope the show isn't too predictable though, because
Yeah,
the biggest struggle of the show I think is pacing, because alien movies normally are pretty short, tightly
yeah,
paced, and there's a rough formula of how to make this work, and then we've never seen it expanded to last a whole TV show where each episode needs to have a big event, but
yeah,
also you need to sustain the tension needs to be sustained across the whole series. So I think that's the most careful balance they need to do. I think the hour-long runtime is a bit much, and I think that the density of characters is too
yeah.
much.
But
Um,
there's an awful lot. Like you've got that whole science team. You've got
yeah.
all the kids. Kid robots. You've got that cyborg from the ship
Mhm.
who's the sole survivor. He's wanting to like bring the alien back to Wayland Yutani. Like what's he going to end up being like? So
Lots of like mixed
yeah,
motivations going on.
yeah,
And like we talked about, like the times and stuff. My favorite things, I love the atmosphere. I love the
yes,
production design. I love like the eeriness, the gore. I love the new like they're finally expanding the lore beyond just the xenomorph. This showing what other aliens can we have, and like you talked about the zombie cat with the eye. Holy moly, that was
yeah.
so cool. That was amazing. And I love there's like the little parasite bug that like sucks out
Yeah,
the
well, it's like
brains.
a leech,
What
but
is this?
like bigger, like
Yeah, because this is
massive blood sac.
like a zombie alien show,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
mixed with like the origins of Blade Runner
yeah,
with zombie aliens, and like wow, this is cool. I think there's so many great ideas on this. Um, I just feel a little bit mixed about the pacing and the density of the characters and stuff. Um, the adults, like you said, so they have like children's minds and adult bodies. I'm mixed on that. I'm not sure yet if I like that or not, but at least it's creative and it's
yeah.
interesting.
I imagine you're not supposed to sort of like the idea of it because at the end, they're still
Right.
kids and like but then they're being put in these adult
Yeah.
situations.
You're so right. So the unsettlingness, the uncomfort, the discomfort, that's intentional.
Yeah,
No, you're right. You're right. Because I'm like, is this supposed to be cute? It's not cute.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm supposed to feel uncomfortable
Yeah,
about
because
that.
like 5 minutes ago, they were just kids that were, the only thing that's changed is they're now in a bigger body. That's it. They've still got these minds, they still want to be kids. Like they talk about how much they miss, like, eating and like doing sort of kids stuff that you probably
Mhm.
don't get to do that much. And it's like, what's going to become of them? Because like they can't die now. Like they're going to grow up in these bodies that are already there for them. It's like, it's going to be so interesting just to see where the show can take the ethics of it
Yeah.
all, I think.
Yeah, it's a stew of such interesting ideas.
Yeah,
And like you said, like those kids, I don't want to see them die, but I don't see a happy ending for them.
no.
And
Outside of
I think
maybe Wendy, like I think the rest of them are probably,
even Wendy, who knows,
yeah, yeah,
But I think they're really well written and really well acted. Those adult children actors,
yeah, yeah,
like you truly feel, oh my God, this is just a kid.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's amazing to think, no, this is an adult actor, and this is they're just reading lines, but it feels so authentic. Like you have to remind yourself, no, 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 this is an adult because I feel like
yeah,
it's just a big kid. It's
yeah,
really
yeah,
well done. I'm a little frustrated. I wish some of the characters started dying already because there's so
yeah,
many supporting characters. And I was like, I don't want to keep track of all of these. Please just kill, 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 kill.
yeah, yeah.
Hermit. Every time Hermit, I was like, come on, get it, get it, get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is he
I
still
think
alive?
feel like he's going to be the one that just scrapes away like throughout the whole show. Like he's going to be in all these, predicaments, and then
Because I
um,
feel like when you do something like that, it feels too safe.
yeah,
That you have
yeah,
all these supporting characters, and yeah, they're killing off the random people.
yeah,
But when you give me 20 supporting characters and a whole season, I expect to see them start dying
yeah.
at a rapid
I
pace.
feel like these two
Yeah.
episodes were definitely just enough for you to get to know everyone and be like, right, I'm invested in you guys, and then now they can start hopefully killing them off in the next 6 episodes. So
I also want to mention, like, there's a lot of style in the show, but I really liked the scene where they're doing the transfers of the little kids, and
yeah,
it feels like it's all shot in one take, and you see the kids like
yeah,
getting up and
yeah,
watching the other
yeah. I
kids.
really, yeah, I
That's a
really
very cool
enjoyed
scene.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you like about the show that you've never seen before in other Alien things?
I like that they're expanding like outside of, because the thing is with the Alien franchise, it's like 40 plus years now, like similar to Star Wars, but it's
Yeah.
never been tapped into as much as Star Wars has
Yeah.
been. So it's got the films, there's 200 years between like the first film and like the resurrection. So there's
Mhm.
all of that history to like cover in Alien. And it's like we're only just sort of now getting into what it all means. Like it goes even further back if you include Prometheus and all of that.
Mhm.
So I'm really enjoying that they're just like dedicating setting up some of the lore for like the films and everything. Like, we get to see how everything is on Earth, because
Mhm.
Earth is such a big like part of the Alien films. Like, they don't ever want to bring the aliens back to Earth. They have to like make sure that the aliens sort of stay, out there. Like I think some people were a bit like, oh, they're sort of doing it so it's set before the first Alien, but it's quite clear that at the end of this show, it's like it's going to not hamper anything. Like the alien's not going to get out into the world and just be
Right.
like there while Ripley's on her journey, like many millions of miles away. So I'm really enjoying that. Like I'm liking where they're going, like because the alien's just there, it's messing around, like in it's this new playground for it, like it's already pretending to be statues and like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like so I'm just really enjoying that, where they can take the alien itself instead of just on a spaceship or like in a big metallic prison or something like that, because there's a lot of metal in these like alien
Yes.
films that it's like it's kind of like, so like want to see the alien in the jungle or something a bit similar to like Predator, like if they're going to go down that sort of route. So
I was just thinking, and Romulus, do they say that the aliens detect sound? Do you remember when there's that scene where they have to
in
walk really quietly?
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
face huggers detect
The
sound,
face
I
huggers,
think.
okay. Because
Because in
in this
this
one, in
one, he
episode
said
two,
that
it,
Cyborg says that they detect
the
fear.
fear,
So,
and
yeah,
that's an amazing scene. And you see
yeah,
him like suppressing
yeah, yeah.
that. I really like that. And I can't remember if that was established already in like Alien One or Two. Do you know?
I can't remember now.
Okay. But
I'd need
I
to
think I
rewatch
think it's
them, but
great, and I think this is a fantastic scene for showing if you suppress your fear, it won't mess with you. I really like some of the style stuff that they did, and it's hard to say because we've never seen an alien show.
yeah,
We've never seen an alien from Noah Hawley before. Because, like, for example, just when it cuts to credits and there's like a rock song, every
Yeah, and
time.
yeah, like that takes
Yeah.
it out of me a bit. I'm like, you
Yeah.
know,
It's hard. Like he wants to put a stylistic stamp on this while he's also trying to remain faithful, and
yeah,
it's just a very interesting mixture of things. I'm not sure overall if I'm as positive as you are. I'm mixed and curious. I think the ideas are great, but it's a little bit slow and long and complicated with all these characters. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I guess I'll wait and see. I think I'm interested enough to give it a couple more episodes. I bet the finale, I bet the end of it is probably going to blow up and be great, hopefully.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, yeah. It'll all be building to something, but like obviously these first two episodes are sort of just to establish Earth in like the alien universe. So
We're just right now at the outset. Would you like this to be a multi-season show, or would you like this to be self-contained and one story that
I
ends?
would rather they sort of went somewhere else with another show after this. Like they could do one like just before Alien 3 or something like that, you know, like play around more. Like, you know, after they deal with this, like we don't need another show because it's too close to Alien to like have any more sort of. Like maybe the cast could come back because obviously most of them are like ageless
Yeah,
ageless robots, so they could just bring
yeah.
them back, like, you know, 100 years down the line or whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, it may be that they want to make it so it ties in with the Romulus sequel that they're sort of developing or whatever, you know, like further down the line. So we would
It's
have to see.
it's really interesting that you made the Star Wars comparison because you're right. 1977, 1979. Here we are. They had one timeline going forward. They went back to do the prequels.
Yeah,
There's a lot of parallels. But what's interesting is that Star Wars is so micro focused on this like two generations.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like every single detail of
yeah,
every second in
yeah,
those two generations. And there's very detailed specific timelines. Whereas Alien, it's like you said, like a couple hundred years. Who knows what's happening in between?
yeah,
They probably contradict each other a couple times. And whatever, just have fun with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's
And
kind of
that's all, you
freedom
know.
here.
Because, like,
Mhm.
obviously, this show, he's already said he's not paying attention to Prometheus or Covenant or anything. So this
Yeah.
one's sort of just, you know, this one and then Alien the film, and that's where you go from there. So
As a fan of both franchises, what method do you prefer? And do you think they should learn from each other?
I mean, I'm always gonna say because I'm like probably so into Star Wars that I really like when they sort of stick with, like, obviously with Star Wars, I would love them. You know, I'm excited for them to expand the eras and everything, but I do like when they sort of adhere to what other shows and films have brought and sort of not started their own timelines kind of thing. But I can appreciate both. Like with Alien, it's like, oh, you know, so what if they ignore those two films? Like, I'm happy to just enjoy this show because you can go back and watch this show and then the films, or you can go back and watch the other two things, miss out this show, then watch the films. You know, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So I can see positives and negatives to both sides, but I think I do sort of kind of prefer, because it's like, you know, with Star Wars, you've also got the books, you've got the comics, they all slot in. Like Alien has books. Which are sort of set like with the Marines around the time of Aliens, as far as I know from what I've
Okay.
seen.
I
I've
know
not
there's some
read any
comics
of them.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they do comics, obviously. But oh, who knows, like how canon they are to like anything
Mhm.
or that sort of thing. So, but yeah, but it'd be nice to see because, like, you know, hopefully this show will sort of be the start of them tapping into Alien a bit more. Maybe, like, maybe give us,
This and Romulus, if we ever get
yeah,
like a Romulus 2
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I think for Star Wars, like you, I really like how when the details line up.
yeah,
When like I'm watching a Star Wars movie, then I read the book. For example, like Lost Stars. Did you read
yeah,
Lost Stars?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I love how then it's a one book and it connects to the movie, comes back to the book, connects to the movie, comes back to the book, and you see the movies from a different point of view, but it's all with one interconnected timeline that
yeah,
tightly, precisely makes sense. I think that's amazing. And sometimes you get Andor where like they recreate a scene and like they slightly rewrite the speech or
yeah,
something. But
yeah,
like you have these two shows that are actually intersecting in a very exciting way. I think that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But I do like Alien, how it's this expansive timeline, and it's like just relax, enjoy it, and we're gonna cover hundreds of years, and we'll show you all these different planets, all these different cultures and perspectives, and with this weird evolution. And what if Ripley had like a weird clone or
Yeah,
something? And what if there's
yeah,
a prison planet? And we'll show you the birth of the alien. And I feel like Star Wars is still scared to expand too far.
yeah,
Why are we still waiting for like the origins of the Jedi and Sith and
yeah,
all of that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And why don't we see like 1,000 years in the future? Why is it so tightly connected to just two or three generations? So I think they could both learn from each other.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
But overall, I think I like Aliens like bravery to just do something creative. But also I like Star Wars like precision and detail.
Yeah,
Pablo Hidalgo holding
yeah,
everything
yeah,
together. Right.
yeah, yeah,
But both very nice franchises.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Overall, do you think this is a success for a TV pilot?
I would say so. Yes, I
Yeah.
think it's got everything. Like doesn't mess around showing you the alien. Like he's there. Like you see a lot of him. I thought like
And he's a
for
guy in a suit.
yeah, it's
Like,
just a guy in a suit, and like you might be able to tell like on the TV
uh-huh.
show budget, but they do like a very good job of showing you the whole alien. Like he's not hidden away in the
Yeah,
shadows for
crawling
like
around on the
yeah
floor.
for the first
Yeah.
4 episodes, and then you sort of see him. It's not like a Marvel show or whatever where they sort of just tease it and then
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because like Romulus, I know they used a robot for parts of it. They used
yeah,
like an
yeah.
animatronic.
And then
Do
the
you like
weird,
seeing?
weird baby at the end, that was a man. That's like a 7 foot tall man in a suit. That the
Yeah.
horrible, horrible baby alien creature.
Do you like being able to tell that it's a guy in a suit, or would you like if they like
uh,
tried to obscure it and make it a little more shadowy, or
No,
where
I'm
do you
not.
fall?
I'm not bothered. Like I
Yeah.
can watch it and just you lift your imagination and just be like, it's an alien. Like I mean, I'd rather it was a guy in a suit than just fully CGI for the whole thing. I
Mhm.
feel like it always adds a bit more realism from actors when they've got something to work against. Like I know they
Yeah,
say that they have like a tennis ball or whatever, but you can't imagine a tennis ball being an
the
alien.
Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I
Uh,
like that there would be a guy in a suit, so they have something to run from.
I wish it was the alien itself was a little bit scarier.
Yeah,
I feel like they're not trying to create the same kind of scariness with the alien that
yeah,
like
yeah.
1979 did. But there's so much other atmosphere and eeriness, especially from these new aliens we've never
Yeah,
seen.
yeah. Like I
That
hope we
is so
see
much more
plenty.
interesting to
Like
me.
I
Yeah,
want to see that eye thing take over one of the robot kids or something. I think
yeah. I
that would
feel
be
like
very cool.
I feel like the show itself might not even be super interested in the xenomorph. It's
Yeah,
like, here's the
yeah,
xenomorph. You know what it does? All right.
yeah.
And it's there like out of
You know,
obligation. But the
yeah,
other alien stuff, that's what really seems much more interesting.
yeah,
Um, Another problem I had was I didn't feel any emotional investment in these characters yet because there's just
yeah,
so many of them.
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
keep track of them. And if there's an alien attacking, I'm just like, yeah, kill him
yeah.
because I
Exactly. Yeah,
don't care about anyone. So I think that might be a slight negative for now because you said like the first 2 episodes were supposed to meet the characters and I saw their faces. That's
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't tell you who's
yeah.
who.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
just
like I
like
don't
rooting
remember the
for
names. I know they've all got Disney names, all of like the
the
hybrid.
Lost Boys. They're the
Yeah,
Lost Boys
yeah,
from Peter Pan. Like,
yeah.
or they're
You've got like
or they're
Smee, and
also
you've got yeah,
Smee was the Captain Hook's first mate.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
But it's all Peter Pan names.
yeah, yeah,
And I like they the boy genius was reading that quote from Peter Pan and
yeah.
from the mother, and it's like uh, basically brainwashing the kids.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, whoa, what a scary quote. That's
yeah,
great. Like
yeah,
I don't know if I'm sure it's from the original book by J.M. Barrie, but for them to pull that specific quote and use it in such an eerie way, I thought that was great. Very, very clever, very inspired. All right, man. Anything else?
I think we've covered it for now. I think
Good.
we're all good.
Just two
Just
episodes, but there's a
yes,
lot in
there's a
here.
lot.
So
Like there's basically a movie we've just got for
yeah.
like this week. So
Overall, I still think like I loved Romulus. I really, really liked Romulus. I don't think I quite love the show the way I love most alien movies. Like
yeah,
even Covenant Prometheus, like there's stuff I just love about those. And
yeah,
here I think I'm still wait and see.
yeah. Like
So
I'm waiting for
yeah.
like people to get like I'm waiting for that Timothy Olyphant android to just get weird, like like
Yeah.
David did in Prometheus and all. Like I'm waiting for all of
Oh
that sort
yeah.
of stuff. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be all be to come. So hopefully these next 6 episodes they can sort of get down to it now.
Well, yeah, David's a great point. I would love to see like some of these androids meet other versions of themselves
Yeah, yeah,
because that's the best when you have like the two Davids,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that, or like Romulus had like an alternate version of Rook,
yeah,
things like that.
yeah,
Why not? They're
yeah,
androids, you
yeah.
know.
Like you've got
Yeah,
Timothy Olyphant and his weird blonde hair. Like use him, bring him in to make the
ah, yeah. I really would like a Timothy Olyphant clone that like looks like Cobb Vanth with the
yeah,
facial hair and like
yeah,
that's my Timothy Olyphant.
yeah.
I reject this other one.
Reject this weird blonde hair.
Please bring back the facial hair. It's a crime to shave it off. All right, I think we're good. All right, thanks everyone
On
for
that
watching.
note,
Yes, on that note, thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the discussion, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Are you excited for more Alien Earth? let us know. And then you can find me on Blue Sky at Vin Writes Words.
I'm Cam. You can find me on Twitter at Cam and Film.
Be sure to follow thecosmiccircus.com on Blue Sky and at My Cosmic Circus to find more reviews, articles, editorials, and opinions like the ones you just watched. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
And special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see even more videos and extended content, please subscribe at the link in the description.
Thank you.